brothers, my sisters, my kinfolk, my Nijis. What it do, fam? What it do? 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 Y'all already know, back at you again. Had to check that out. Just got finished checking in, whatnot. Hey, y'all hear that? Leave that shit alone. It ain't my fucking truck. But I'm out here in, you might as well say, a suburb of Cincinnati. I'm kind of like southwest of Cincinnati right now. I was originally headed somewhere else to go get loaded up, but got a phone call and was asked to come where I'm at now to get this load, because the other driver, make a long story short, the other driver, he was not going to be able to come and pick this load up. So here it is. Y'all already know what I like to do. So further ado, because I just got in the dock late as fuck. It is what it is. But y'all already know what I like to do. Further ado, let me go ahead and get into it. Today is Monday. So, like to give thanks to the planet, the moon. Like to give thanks to Sophia. Like to give thanks to Azazel. Like to give thanks to Lilith. Like to give thanks to Isis. Like to give thanks to Tahuti. Like to give thanks to Hathor. Like to give thanks to Ra. Like to give thanks to Lakshmi. Like to give thanks to Ganesh. Like to give thanks to Krishna. Like to give thanks to Baset. Like to give thanks to Hanuman. Like to give thanks to Oshun. Like to give thanks to Shango. Like to give thanks to Papa Legba. Like to give thanks to Anubis. Like to give thanks to Selene. Like to give thanks to Thunderbird. Like to give thanks to Odin. Like to give thanks to Thor. Like to give thanks to the Jade Emperor. Like to give thanks to the Jade Empress. And I also like to give thanks to all the gods and goddesses that are known and unknown on this day. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Alright, there it is, fam. There it is, there it is, there it is. Now, I was listening to the Spirit. Y'all always hear me say listening to the Spirit. I was listening to my higher self. Saturday and also Sunday. Because when it came to me Saturday, I was like, nah, they don't want to hear that. But then it came to me again just yesterday. So I said, okay, fuck it. You know, this is something, what I'm about to talk about, this is something that I personally experienced throughout my 11 years of driving. So, in this trucking video, I'm about to talk about the difference between a company driver, a lease purchase driver, independent driver, and also a owner-operator. I have had the luxury to do 3. Company, lease, and what I am now, independent contractor. So let me start off with this right here. Within 11 years of being out here on the road, the pay scale for company drivers, first coming out of trucking school, has went up. I mean, went up. When I came out of trucking school, the most money that I seen was actually, okay, I went through CR England trucking school. While I was in CR England trucking school, I was receiving 15 cents per mile. Once I graduated and went on to the other phase of the training, it got bumped up to 27 cents. I eventually walked away. When I left them, I think I went to Snyder, but I wound up seeing like 34 cents per mile. So in a nutshell, fam, I wasn't seeing shit. Now you can go on Craigslist to these big time companies, and they're starting their drivers off with 60 cents per mile. bro was just sitting up here telling me about a guy that owned a couple of trucks. But now I'm getting ahead of myself. But that's dealing with the independent contractors. He's paying 80 cents per mile. So you're talking about, 34 cents. Well, matter of fact, let's stick with the company driver. You're talking about 60 cents versus 80 cents. It's a 20 cents difference, but the difference between the company driver and a contract driver like myself, I do my taxes. I do my own taxes. I have my own tax person, do all of that. Good thing about being a company driver, because I'm going to give you the pros and also the cons. A good thing about being a company driver is if your truck breaks down, you don't have to worry about shelling out any money to get it fixed. They'll 9 times out of 10, they have a lot of terminals, depending on what company you work for. So they will either get a wrecker to come and hook up and tow you to the closest nearest terminal, or a TA or some shit like, or a truck stop. And then typically they have another driver that will come through, and basically you would take his trailer, y'all swap trailers, a relay. You'll relay your load off to the next driver. That's the good thing. The sad and real fucked up thing about being a company driver is you have to do exactly what your dispatcher tells you to do. Now, if it is something safety-wise where you feel uncomfortable doing, yes, you open up your mouth, you say something, and then you go from there. But half of the time, a lot of company drivers, they have to listen to what their dispatcher tells them what to do. It's more of a, I'm in control, you're going to listen to what I tell you to do. Hell, that's pretty much it. Pros and cons when it comes with the company shit, because I walked away from being a company driver like 3 years of actually being out here. I didn't need nobody to talk me into it. Everybody that know me know that I've always been a risk taker, and that comes from me doing what I used to do in the streets and whatnot. I used to take a lot of penitentiary chances. I just say that. So taking a risk is something that I never been afraid to take a risk on doing something. But I wound up walking away from being a company driver. And what was the first company? I want to say my first lease purchase program. It's kind of crazy I'm saying program, and now how I'm like really into metaphysics and programming and channeling. I'm gonna leave that shit alone. But anyway, Roadrunner. I wound up pulling containers, going from Indianapolis to Chicago, Cincinnati, Louisville. I think I went out to Ohio a couple of times, but not a lot. But that was the first taste of freedom. As a lease purchase driver, now this is the difference between a lease purchase and a matter of fact, I'm gonna make this a 2-part video. So this is part 1. So the first part is company driver, and now I'm gonna talk about the lease purchase. As a lease purchase driver, you have a little bit more freedom. You have an opportunity to physically pick out what truck you want to drive. You can kind of dictate where what running lanes you want to go in. 1099. Financially, your money does go way up versus a company driver. that first year with Roadrunner, I came close to almost $90,000. Real close. I was a lease purchase driver with JB Hunt. I came close to $90,000 with them as well. Even though I came extremely close to like $100,000, majority of that money went right back into the truck, because the downside of being a lease purchase driver is if the truck breaks down, you got to pay for that shit. You also got to pay for fuel also. Now that's something I didn't mention with the company. Now on the company side, when it comes to fueling and shit, they'll send you a macro message and they'll tell you like how many gallons you need to put in and all this other bullshit. But as a lease purchase driver, it's really up to you how many gallons of fuel you want to put in. You just got to keep in the back of your mind, at the end of the day, that money that you put into the truck, that money is coming back out. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's coming back out. So that's another downside to that. Another downside to being a lease purchase driver, they make you sign this contract. And when I was doing it, I don't know how things is now, but when I was doing it, the contracts was basically set up for the driver not to win. It didn't matter how hard that driver ran. That driver was not going to get that truck. That's another thing also. As a lease purchase driver, you can take time off from work, but you can't take too much time off from work. If you take too much time off from work, you are going to hurt yourself, because you have a truck note payment, whereas a company driver, you don't got no truck note payment. You got insurance. As a company driver, you don't have to pay for no insurance. As a lease purchase driver, you got to pay for fuel. As a company driver, you don't have to pay for no fuel. You have any breakdowns, you have to pay for that. As a company driver, you don't have to pay for that also. Then if you want your old lady, if you know, or if you're a woman and you want your man to ride with you got to pay for that part of insurance also. Rider policy, insurance, and all that shit. You know, as a company driver, it's a little bit different. You know, they just make that person sign off on a piece of paper, and that's it. You know, so it's a big difference between a company driver and a lease purchase driver. As a lease purchase driver, I loved it. Like I said, I seen my money flow go up. That's gonna be next week. It's gonna be independent contractors, owner operators. I'm an independent contractor, been an independent contractor for a very, very long time. Do I like it? Yes, I do. It has its ups and also has its downs. So I'm gonna break that down, and also owner operator also, because that is what my camp. That's what we are striving for now, is our own truck. No more playing around, or me keep on working for the next man, the next woman, making their pockets fatter. They getting, as Big Brother Ivan used to say, they getting fat off the hog. You know, so it is what it is. Enjoy the rest of y'all day. Something a little different, new, and everything, but hope you enjoy it. My brothers, my sisters, my kinfolk, my Nijis, I appreciate it, and I thank you for taking time out of your day to listen and to watch my copper tone ass. Peace, love, and joy. Holla.